Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Erin and this is my channel where I like to talk about all things movies as well as makeup. I like to do first time reactions to movies and first time trying makeup. I like to do rankings of movies and ranking of makeup, and just overall anything beauty or movie related I really enjoy here, as well as TV shows and stuff like that. Anything TV related I really enjoy, but I also really love to read, and so this video today is going to be a book review. Reading is probably my biggest passion or hobby, definitely. Since growing up I always loved to read, and I read a lot. Well, I used to. I'm getting back into it right now. Being a teacher and also through college, I really stunted my reading because I've just been so busy and always having to do something, and teaching is quite literally, obviously, a full-time job, but literally, like, even at home it's a full-time job even when you leave the school. But I'm getting more and more back into reading and I just love it so much. So today I wanted to do a book review. I'm challenging myself this year to read at least 25 books, which I think I'm definitely going to surpass. Once I get started into reading, I can go pretty quickly, and since I've gotten back into the groove, I've already read, I want to say probably like 17-18 books already, and it's only May, so I'll definitely pass 25 books as long as I keep up with my good strides. But it is the month of Stephen King here on my channel, so I'm doing movie reactions to movies of his I've never seen, or not necessarily his movies, but movies inspired by his books, obviously, as well as doing movie reviews of movies adapted from his books. So I've already done a review of Carrie, the movie. It's on my channel. I will link it in the description box if you haven't seen it, as well as today, just before this video, I filmed a makeup slash review of the movie The Shining using this palette based on the movie. So if you're interested in seeing that, I will link that down below as well. But today I'm going to also be doing a review of the book Apt Pupil, which I will pop up here somewhere. I have the physical copy, but I'm literally too lazy to go get up and get it. But I just read this book. I bought it off Amazon, and so I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on it. So if you're interested in book reviews, or if you're just coming here for the book review and not want to see nothing else on my channel, I do here occasionally throw in some book content on my channel. I will link that playlist down below as well if you're interested in other book reviews or see what I'm reading for the month. So anyways, long intro out of the way, definitely go ahead and like this video, and let's go ahead and get into my thoughts of Apt Pupil by Stephen King. Alright, so Apt Pupil is a book by Stephen King, and I want to go into today 4 bullet points on my thoughts about this book, and then give you my final grade rating for the book. So I do grade ratings on movie reviews as well as book reviews because I'm a teacher. I thought it fit kind of corny, but anyways, so you can get an A, B, C, D, or F rating. I haven't given too many things F ratings. I think I'm a little too nice, but I will give you a rating of what I think the book is by the end of the video. I have 4 points here from the book that I want to talk about to sort of give you guys my thoughts on it. So the first thing, of course, Stephen King is one of my favorite authors. I really love pretty much almost all the books I've read from him. There have been a couple though that I've not fit. Well, probably just one. There's one I can think of that comes to mind that I did not finish, and that's the Tommyknockers. It's really long. Maybe I wasn't ready for that book. I later read Stephen King, and that's a really long. I read Stephen King. I later read It by Stephen King. That one is also a very long one, and I got through that one. So I want to go back and give the Tommyknockers another chance, especially when I think there might be a movie coming out with that one. I heard some rumblings about it. Who knows with the pandemic and stuff like that. But anyways, but overall I really love him as an author, and there's no difference here. I think the writing style in this book is pretty well done. I like the way it is written and how the story unfolds. I think the build up is very nice, and I think the way the story progresses is done very well, and it's very well written, which is to be expected, I think, from Stephen King, at least in most of his books. But my first point here that I want to talk about from the book is the captivating characters, and these are some evil characters. We're pretty much following this young boy who's very fascinated with Nazis and Nazi Germany and Holocaust stuff, but not the sad part and sympathizing with the victims. He's more on loving and connecting with the sort of villains, the people that were killing and doing all of that stuff during Nazi Germany era and during the Holocaust. So it's following this character. So you're following a character that's not very sort of not relatable. I hope it's not relatable. I mean, I hope you're not relating to this character. But what I'm saying is that he's a character that is evil in a way. He's not a great character. And he starts off kind of, sort of curious, but you can definitely tell there's something wrong with this kid. He's something not clicking up there, very much a sociopath, psychopath, whatever you want to call it. And so one thing I want to point out in this book is that their characters, the evil characters, are very captivating, very well written, and you get into the mind. These are truly sick people. So this young boy tracks down and finds a man that was a Nazi during the World War II, and he starts bothering this man, kind of almost blackmailing him, like, if you don't tell me about this stuff, share the gritty details, then I'm going to rat you out and tell everybody that you were a Nazi during World War II and did all these very atrocious crimes. And so what we see here is we're following truly sick people, both the boy and the old soldier, who's an old man now, super old man now, and it truly kind of dives into their evil thoughts and minds. And it almost seems like they didn't start off as truly evil, but we start to see that throughout it progresses more and more, to where at first they're just kind of theorizing and talking about it, and slowly, as the old man, as the soldier, can we even saw him a soldier, this war criminal starts talking about his past crimes, he starts to enjoy it again. He starts to have these feelings of that, like, it was pleasure to him when he was doing these evil things to people, experimenting on them, killing them, gassing them, gave him some sort of pleasure. To the point where he even, the boy even buys him a fake Nazi costume, and he starts wearing it to bed. It gives him some sort of pleasure. And so we slowly start to see into their minds of the two main characters, and how it really shows you how the evilness and the sickness and the sort of depravity is brought out from the characters. And it was hidden there the whole time. It was hidden there. It just had to be brought out, and they brought it out of each other. And to the point where, sorry you guys, if you haven't read this book, definitely don't watch it. Don't watch this video. Go read the book. But I'm gonna get some spoilers. It's also a movie as well, which I didn't even know. I think I might do a reaction to that movie because I've never seen it. I didn't even know it was a movie. But to the point where they start killing, and the guy, the war criminal Nazi, was already had killed people. Obviously, even if it was under orders, he apparently obviously enjoyed it. He starts killing people again, and the boy also starts killing people. It's like they brought out the evilness in each other, and it's just a fascinating, almost study of these characters throughout the book. So that's kind of one of my first positives, actually, because I think that, not that no one should be relating to these characters, obviously, but it's interesting to see kind of this evilness and read in the point of view of the villain, because a lot of times we read from the point of view of the hero or the protagonist, but in this case we're reading and seeing the point of views of these people that are sick, these people that are evil, these people that have these very just gross thoughts and dreams and wishes. And it's weird. It's interesting though at the same time. And one thing about the boy, I think, is he definitely doesn't have any emotional attachment to anything, not even his parents. He's very much emotionally detached, very much like a psychopathic person. It's very well written. So the characters is one positive I would say for this book, for sure. My second point I'm going to go into is the well-written descriptions. I think Stephen King always does this really well. The way he describes things in this book, from the dreams that this boy has to sort of this Nazi war criminal describing how they gas people, is very, very, Stephen King does a great job with describing and setting the tone and setting the imagery within his writing almost a little bit too well. It's quite morbid, actually, and this one could be kind of a positive, because of course you want good imagery, you want the description, but also almost a little bit of a negative because it is so disturbing in a way. But definitely I'm thinking it goes more on the positive side, because of course you want that descriptive writing in there, but it's definitely morbid descriptions, especially like I said, the Holocaust descriptions, the dreams that this kid is having of him like R-ing a woman and killing her and all this other weird stuff that happened. And of course the murder scenes, very, very disgustingly described. So yeah, I'm looking down because I have notes here. I want to get all my thoughts out. But yeah, it just shows kind of their hidden nature. And so we get an inside look. So this is my third point, actually, is that we get an inside look into the sick thoughts of these killers, these psychopaths. And they're just, it's weird. It's like a whole ball of hatred, racism, discrimination, killing, and overall just sick thoughts towards humans that they have. And we get an inside look at their brains. It's quite interesting. That's why I put it as my third bullet point, because obviously it's just a character that you can't redeem. Obviously it's a character, there are two characters that you just can't redeem in any way, for me, in any way, which it kind of is a little bit of a, since there's no one you can relate to, I guess that might be a little bit of a negative for this book, because there is no character really in this book that you can truly relate to. You have the parents of the boy. They seem like normal American parents, but they're albeit a little bit clueless, not clueless, but also like wanting to ignore the signs, especially the mom starts to see and notice the signs, but she keeps brushing it off, like, oh, my kid is normal, my kid is bright, my kid is smart. But you slowly, at some point it's just like she's ignoring it, and the dad completely is just wanting to brush off everything, even if he also felt like a chill from his son, like, ooh, that was kind of scary, and he just kind of brushes it off. And so but you can't, I don't really connect with the parents as much either, maybe because I'm not a parent. And then there's a couple other side characters that you don't fully connect with, so that might be a little bit of a negative, because you can't really connect with the two main characters, because they're evil, they're disgusting, they're not good people. So that might be kind of a little bit of a negative, but I don't think you have to always relate to every character in a book, right? You don't have to relate to every single character in every single book. That's just not a necessity. And here, I definitely think that is the strength of how these characters pan out, because they're just so evil. They're just so evil, and that's how they were meant to be, and that's how they were written to be. Of course, they're Nazis. I mean, one guy's a Nazi, and one guy holds Nazis up in good regard. Okay, so my fourth bullet point is actually going into kind of what I was talking about, looking at how families will ignore the warning signs and shake off strange behaviors of their kids. And that kind of, not all families, of course, but it kind of is a interesting topic that could be had about how these sort of things like mass shootings or things happen where kids snap, kill, and maybe were there any warning signs? Was there any way to prevent it? Was anybody checking the social media, or was anybody checking the journal, or not necessarily the journal? Don't check your kids' journals. That's invasion of privacy. But anyone was checking the warning signs? Was anyone noticing the things or researching, or if you felt something, kind of doing your own research? And I think that can happen with families where even kids that are not like on this level, but parents that kind of ignore their kids' behavior, that could lead to even more dangerous behaviors just because it's their kid. So I think that ideal as a parent, you don't want to think your kid is anything but an angel, and I wrote that down here, and I wanted to read that exactly. But you don't want to think anything bad of your kid, right? I'm not a parent, but I can definitely imagine that's how most parents feel. So those were my 4 bullet points I wanted to really get through. But overall, I really like the way this book unfolds. I really like the kind of look into this apt pupil who's learning all the bad things, all the wrong things, and how he just becomes more depraved and more depraved as he gets older. And he starts off quite young in the book and progresses even to more evil. And I think that the story is actually really, really good. I don't think I would give it the highest letter grade, which I'll get to that in a second, because some things were just a little too much maybe, and like I said, there wasn't any character that you could really glob on and connect to. But overall, I think it was really well written. It progressed very nicely, and I do like the ending of how these characters kind of get caught. It's very interesting. I think it's pretty fascinating and good, and the way the student kind of progresses from this curious boy with these kind of sociopathic thoughts all the way to a murderer, and in the end he actually goes on a shooting spree at the end of the book. So I kind of like the way the book ends. So yeah, I think this book overall is pretty good. So what would I give it? Letter grade wise, I would give this one a B plus, because I think that overall it's really well written. Characters were well written, got some great topics or little points that you can go into and delve into more, and topics and themes that you can explore within the text. And overall, it was a pretty fun read. It was pretty quick for me to read. It's not very long. It's more of a novella than a novel, and I think it was pretty good. Stephen King doesn't disappoint. Wouldn't give it an A plus, which is what I would probably give. I'll probably give it like an A plus, A minus. One of my favorite books. This one I would give a B. I liked it so far. Also, there's another. Oh, what is that other Stephen King book I read last year? About the girl that got lost in the forest. Why am I forgetting book names? I read the whole book. Gordon something. Finding Tom Gordon something. That one I would probably give an A too. I really enjoyed that book with the little girl. She got lost in the woods. This is not a review of that, anyways. But I'm just trying to give you some reference on why I gave this one a B. I really liked it, but it wasn't like top tier, like the best top tippy top for me. I think it's a good read though. I would definitely recommend it if you like sort of looking from the point of view of a more creepy, scary, sociopathic character, kind of their story, versus following like the hero. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching this book review. I will do more book reviews on my channel. I really enjoy doing reviews, period, and I love books, so this fits right in. So if you like this, definitely think about giving it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel as well if you want to see more content like this, if you want to see more book reviews, and I will check you guys out in the next video very soon. Stay safe. Adios.